back to the 10 Point Podcast. Today we're here with Beefham as normal, and we have a very special guest. We have the KAIROS band on.
All right, boys.
Hello.
Yeah, so we're gonna start off as we normally do. So where did it all start? Where did you start getting into music and that?
Who's taking this one, lads?
Yeah, you take it, lad. You're an original, aren't you? So...
Yeah, I'm what's called an OG. Nah. So me and Sam, the singer, we met in this like little summer school thing back in I don't know. I think we were in like year 10 or something like that. And it was like trying to get a grip of where you were gonna go for like sixth form and that. And met him there. I ended up saying one of my favourite bands was Kasabian. I think he said Oasis, and then we kind of just got on from there and like formed this band. And then we had like two other members in for a while, and then we met up with Owen through like the footy, and we got him in, and then Chambers, who was like Tom's best mate through like sixth form and that, he ended up coming in later on and being the lead guitarist. So yeah, it was kind of just like a bit of a weird turn of events, like, but yeah, it was sound
what
like.
Age was that at, like? 14.
Yeah, it's mad. Like, we were like, me and Tom, when we met, were like 15, because the band's been going for about 3 or 4 years, I think. Like under the name the KAIROS. So yeah, that it was me and Tom who started it, and then
yeah, I must have joined.
Yeah,
about 16.
You were about 16, weren't you? Yeah,
I think
about 2 years later.
Year 11, I think I joined.
Yeah. And then Chambers coming only... Was it last year, lad, or the year? Yeah. About a year and a half ago. And it's mad, like we were saying, like his first gig was playing like a headline sold out shipping forecast, which isn't the biggest of venues, but for someone's first gig, like it's a bit of a big pressure, considering we were playing to about 10 people at the Zanzibar for our first gig. Yeah. And then his second gig was like a sold out art club. Like, it's mad. It just kept going up and up and up. And then we supported Cheap Thrills at like the O2 Academy, and that was sold out. That was like his third. And I think his fourth one was that Invisible Wind Factory, like 1,300 people.
What? Yeah, 1,300 people. Was that the biggest one you've done?
Yeah. We were supporting Rats. Yeah, so I think that was like Chambers' fourth or fifth gig since he come in. Like, it's
I think Chambers came in, like, we started taking it like seriously, you know what I mean? It was more, I wouldn't say mess about, but it was something to do.
It's more of a hobby at first, wasn't it? Like,
I think,
rather
than like taking it serious, because now we're rehearsing like 5 days a week. Got a little studio, and like a couple of years back, we were doing nothing really. We were doing once a week, like for
once a fortnight at times, wasn't it? Yeah, 2 hours every fortnight in like that Pirate Studios.
Yeah.
So since Chambers come in, wasn't it? Really, 5 nights a week, like.
Yeah.
So like in your first few gigs and that, did you have your own songs by that point, or like was it just covering songs?
To be honest, it was more like 2 originals and then 4 covers. And then we done like Battle of the Bands, and like that was primarily like covers because you were trying to like win the crowd over. And then I think for the final we got like a longer set, so we ended up doing like halfy, like 3 covers and 3 originals. But I think it was a bit mad, like the way we kind of transitioned. It was just like a point after Battle of the Bands where we just turned around and we just went, no more covers. Like, unless it's a headline, and if it's a headline, we might throw a cover in there. There's like a little crowd pleaser, depends on how long we've got. But if we're just doing like an half an hour, 40-minute set, then just all originals now. But yeah, at the time, Zanzibar and that, it's like 4 covers.
Yeah, you just wanted to move on from it, really, didn't you? You didn't want to be known.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be known as just a cover band. You wanted to try and start making your own music. We had the tunes there, like, whether they were fucking good or not, you know, that's a different story. But yeah, it was our tunes. We were writing our own tunes and just wanted to get them out there and see what the reaction was like to them.
Yeah, I think that was it, wasn't it? We were always a bit worried about how they were going to go down. So the idea was to throw crowd pleasers in, and was a bad move, like, looking back on it, but...
That's it. With the likes of that Battle of the Bands, though, it was just about getting your name out there, weren't it? Like...
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like a few bands are like that. They said they start playing covers, but then like they sort of drift away from it because you just don't, as you just said, you don't mean known as like a cover band. You want your own sound.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You don't want
Like, can you imagine if we turned up at that like Invisible Wind Factory and went, all right, everyone is not 19 forever, or you know what I mean? Like, come on. It's just a bit embarrassing when it comes to that point, isn't it?
You don't want to be one of them 50-year-old fellas in a boozers who you're playing covers.
But yeah.
So what was the first song you like? Who writes the song? Sorry, and like what was the first one?
More you in it, Sam in it, Owen.
Which?
Chambers has started writing more recently, but it was always Tom at first, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then
I'm used to like
you joined, didn't you?
Yeah. That's why it was mostly me and Sam at the start. We used to write the tunes, but the thing, like, we used to come on with a tune, and it just changed over time because Sam would
massively
do the drums and that, and then you know, it was everyone had their input in them. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's more like you and Sam would come with like a chorus and a verse and like a lyrics and like melodies and structure and that, and like we'd all put our own input in it, and like these would tell me like I want the drums to do something in a certain way, so I'd like play around with that. But bloody hell, if I told you how many times I've changed drum beats to each song just on the basis that Owen's come in 1 week and gone, nah, I don't like that anymore. It's mad.
Yeah, it's mad.
But, yeah, we all have our own input, but
yeah,
it's more as I say, it's more the other three. Chambers has started writing more recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wrote a belter song that we've recorded, but we haven't released it yet.
Do you have any idea when you're going to release
it? Not really, like, because of this coronavirus, like, so we're not too sure. We've got 2 there recorded and ready to go. As long like with a load of demos and that, but mainly like these 2 recordings. It's just a case of when's best.
When do you know
what
it's
I mean?
right
Like,
to release it?
I don't know. The thing Tom was saying the other day, he wants to release a song when no one's dying. That's what he said, didn't he? It's fair enough. Like,
at the minute, like, I don't think anyone's if someone's making a tune or releasing it. So you've got to have like promotion around it as well. You've got to do gigs and you've got to have photos.
Yeah,
you've got to have all this and that. There's a lot.
There's no point releasing a tune if you can't do gigs around it unless you've got like a big enough following on like the social media platforms to for them to just take it off. Like the likes of Red Rum Club just released that Ellen, and that's done really well. But if we release something like that, other than like a social media type campaign, we wouldn't have anything to back it up with, really. Yeah, it's just that. It's just when's best, when it feels right, really.
So talking of like songs, you've obviously got Teetotal and Money Man. Like, what's like the idea behind them 2 songs?
Oh yeah, that one. You can take this one.
I don't know. I think when I wrote Money Man, I think it was one of the first tunes I wrote. And I don't know, I think I was about 16 or something. And then, I don't know, it's like, because it's inspired, it is like an Arctic Monkeys tune, in it. I think, like the lyrically and stuff like that. And I think it was the first song we properly recorded because we had an EP. And recorded an EP that was fucking recorded off a potato that we threw that on Spotify. And that went down fucking, not happen with that, like, but I think we took all that down and then we went into like a proper studio, and I think it's the best of what we had at the time. So we were just like, let's record this and see how it does.
Yeah, we were under that mass program, weren't we? We got the free recording, and it was between 2 songs, wasn't it? Money Man and Feeling Clever. We went with Money Man, didn't we? Yeah, and that Feeling Clever's changed massively since, and I don't think we're going to record that anytime soon. Like,
nah, I doubt it. Like, and then with Teetotal, that was Tom's tune, And yeah, again, we brought it into the room. We were like, yeah, it's a decent tune. Made a few tweaks to it, and then we went into that motor museum
Yeah.
on Lark Lane, which is boss, like Arctic Monkeys and that have recorded there. And we just thought, yeah, it's fucking decent tune and that. See how it gets on.
How long did it take us to record them two songs?
It's massive amount of time, like for what it is. You know, for like 3 minutes worth of a tune, it's like 2 days of like of graph. Like it's like a day of graph for the band, like recording all the parts, and then the producer spends like the second day mixing for like 8 hours, and then we go back and say like what mix changes we liked and what mix changes we didn't like, and then he then does a master recording of it. And in that time, like where he's given us like these mix changes, it could be like a week or two before we get back with any further changes that we want. And there's been loads loads of times where they've given us like the master back and we've gone, need to go back to mix, like something's not right. So yeah, it takes ages like to get it down. Anyone who says like, we recorded this like dead quick, like you hear about bands doing like bedroom recordings, and I listen to some of them and go, no way was that recorded in a bedroom. Like it's just so much work goes into them. Like
I don't know. I'm not a fan of recording, because you go in with a tune, you play it live, and that it never comes out the other end how you want it to sound. I think like something gets changed, or I don't know. Yeah, it's never the same tune. That's what I prefer doing. Having recording me.
Yeah.
Personally, like I don't know. You lose a bit. I don't know what it is. You just lose a bit. Go and record it. It just feels, I don't know.
Just probably more for you as a songwriter, that though.
Yeah, but the same with Sam. Same with Sam. Sam said the same about the tunes he's done.
Who does the artwork for them? Do you know both of them singles which you love? I think it's like that cool, me. Like just do that yourselves.
We do it ourselves, yeah. I know I'm made up, me. Yeah, I made the first one, and then Sam made the second one.
Oh, decent. Decent.
I think we're thinking about changing it though for this new single, because they're quite similar, like the theme and that.
Got like a theme behind them with like the fonts in the corner and that, but I think we're gonna change it up a bit.
Yeah. Decent.
So this new tune, it's not as I don't know, the other two are quite raw and quite rocky, I think.
Yeah.
And then this new tune that we've got that we're gonna release next, it's a bit more, I don't know,
on the lighter side, in it, rather than the heavier side.
Yeah, good tune, I think.
Have you got any idea?
Yeah, obviously. You can go.
Have you got any idea when you're gonna like release an EP or maybe even an album or stuff? Is that like in the pipeline?
To be honest, we don't know. We've just come under like new management now. We've got like a first band manager ever, and he's does all like the release strategies for the next few songs. What he was talking about, like, but like an album's definitely like years off. But an EP could be a shout. It just depends when it's right. Probably within like the next 2 years, maybe. I don't know, but you just got to see how everything pans out, haven't you? You know.
How does getting like a manager?
The way the gigs are.
How does getting a manager come about, like?
Supporting Rats.
Yeah, he's the Rats manager, and he came up to us. We done a gig with Rats through this promoter called This Feeling, I think it was, when it's Sean.
Yeah, This Feeling, for the Arts Club gig.
Yeah, he was in the crowd and we were main support for them. And at that time, Rats are like, we're well bigger than us, like, they still are bigger than us, but at the time we were like still, I think we had a couple of covers and that in the set.
Yeah, we weren't even main support, lads. We were like second on, weren't we?
We weren't, and then he just came up to us and was like,
you just need to change all this and do all this, and give us like loads of advice and like pointers and like how to be better. I don't know whether he like seeing something in us or I don't know, but he was speaking to us outside Jimmy's, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was actually
For ages.
Like, the stuff he was saying made sense because at that time we were only it was like only a hobby, like
it was like still once a week rehearsals and that.
Yeah, this was
twice a week if we was lucky.
Younger, like.
Yeah, and then he turned around and Ian was like, you're doing everything wrong and you're doing this wrong. And then I think he asked us the question. He went, how often do you rehearse?
Yeah.
And we were just like, once a week. And he was like, right, that's awful. So he turned around. Yeah. Tom was in bits that night.
Someone on the floor like that. Oh, no.
Like someone just fucking finished his world off, lads. And then he like basically like pointed us in the right direction of going to get this room in the music village, which is like proper sound place, houses loads of like different bands. I think the Gear rehearsed there. I don't know if you've heard of them. And we've got a room opposite Jamie Webster. Jamie Webster rehearses there as well. And that's when we started doing that 5 nights a week. And then we carried on doing some of the gigs up until the Invisible Wind Factory. Done that. And he was dead impressed with how many tickets we sold and our like reaction in like the crowd and that. And I think, was it later that night, lads, or the same week he gave us an offer?
Yeah, I think it was like we're not.
I think it was that night.
Yeah, I think it
was in the after party, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's not like a contract. He's just sort of like he'll tell us what to do, and we'll be like, "Go ahead, Sam," but we have to say in it in a way. So it's quite a decent little setup and that.
Yeah, it's heavy.
I feel like you've like improved a lot as a band since you met him.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. He's been a massive help so far. Like,
it's one of them. Like when we didn't have him, because Shane was playing that song, was he?
Which lad?
That arts club with the.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, because at that time, like that was when we were like taking it serious and that.
Yeah, it was like Chambers' second gig, wasn't it? And he just got told by like some cockney that he'd never met before, like his band's going nowhere and all this. So he was gutted as well.
Thinking, what have I joined here?
Did you know he was there then?
Nah.
We knew he was going to be there, but it wasn't a case of like, we're going to play this gig and like try to warm up to Griff. It was more we're just trying to smash this gig's head in, like, as we always would try, and then, see where it goes. The point is, you never know who's in the audience, do you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
You never know. You always hear that, but like that saying what all like the famous people saying, they're like, we just got picked up. We didn't even know he was going to be there, and etc. etc. So we knew he was going to be there, but it weren't a case of like, we'll play up to Griff and see if he'll take us on. It was just, just take the gig serious and see what happens after that. And that's when he told us, you're doing everything wrong, and pointed us in the right direction. Like,
so what would you say is like the biggest influence on the music in terms of like other bands and stuff?
It's mainly like the big, the big four, big five, or whatever you'd say. It's like Arctic Monkeys, Oasis, Stone Roses,
Kasabian and all that.
Yeah, the main big indie belters, like. But I love Led Zeppelin, so I love how John Bonham plays, and I've like tuned my snare drum to be like quite a similar sound to his. Proper like love the way he plays, so I base my playing off of a lot of what he does. I don't know if any of you do that to other people, but
nah, lads.
Never really asked us. But yeah, it's on the music, like it's them main big bands, like.
Yeah, it is, and I think anyone who goes, any band who goes, oh no, I like these, like, you don't, you know what I mean? Like, they were introduced to music through like the likes of Arctic Monkeys, Oasis. If you're in an indie band, I think they'll always have an influence on you, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely.
What would you say, like, in like 2-3 years, then what would you say, like, success for you?
Go ahead, lads. Take this one.
I don't know, to be honest. Obviously, you know, getting signed would be a big thing in about 3 or 4 years. But
yeah, that'd be huge.
At the time, you just got to take it as you come, I think, and you just got to keep doing these gigs. And
yeah, I'm just enjoying to be able to bring out music at the moment. Like, well, after this virus gets lost, like, but
yeah.
That's the main thing to go for so far, innit? Getting gigs and releasing the tunes and working your way up. It's a shame this year as well. We were booked to play Isle of Wight, and I think there was like talk of us doing like Why Not and Struck.
Yeah,
like all these fezzies and Bard Fest. We were going to be main support for the tellies, I think it was.
Yeah,
on this Bard Fest, and that's all like.
Yeah, it's just
gone down. It's not. Yeah, it's not like it's gone, because it's going to happen again next year, and I think we're going to be booked for all the same things, if not, hopefully, some more. But yeah, it's just annoying at the moment. Like,
you feel you get like supported a lot from like other local bands? Because when we spoke to like the Cheap Thrills, they were saying it used to be more like a rivalry, but like now.
Yeah. When we started out, it was definitely like rivalries. Like, it was always, I don't know about you, lad, but I always find it like awkward, like talking to other bands. It always seemed like someone like had it in for you type thing. Not whether that's just me or not, I don't know. But nowadays, it's like when we supported that Cheap Thrills, they turned around and they brought like a big trolley full of ale and was like, "Yeah, boys, here's your rider on us."
Yeah.
And nice one for doing the gig and that. And they put that gig on themselves and everything. And then with Rats, we always get Joe Maddox coming down to our room, at least like once a week or something, and just like having a chat with us. And so now definitely like there's other bands like Corton and Ask Elliot, and I know we talk to them a lot on Insta and that. And
I think there is bands who think they're better than
I think they're too good to speak to you, but
and you think they're too good to speak to you. But the way we approach it, we just think like just be sound with everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, be sound to everyone and be sound back. Like, it's just the best way to be in it. So
you've got more chance of being successful if you're sound with everyone. If you're making loads of rivalries, it's like there's less chance you're. You know, it's like who you know, innit? Like,
yeah, exactly. You don't want to come across as like, you don't want to do a gig with them boys. You're a bunch of dickheads. You know what I mean? You don't want to come across like that. So, yeah. But even like, there's some smaller bands in the scene at the moment, and they're like a few years younger than us. There's that Rainmaker, the Kendos, that Abby Rose Kelly. She's got her own band and that, and they're always like messaging us and that, and it's just like sharing support and that, really, for everyone.
And if the scene gets popular, everyone in it like reaps the rewards from that, don't they?
Well, exactly, yeah. So if Rainmaker like messaging us and we're getting on sound with them, and we turn around to go, yeah, do you want to support us here? And it works out both ways then for everyone, and we end up getting more of their crowd who might latch onto our music. And vice versa for them. Like, it's like us, the way we are with like the Rats and like Cheap Thrills and that. If we're like getting support because we're being sound and supportive to everyone, then we're gonna reap the rewards, getting new members to the crowd and stuff. So like that bandwagon effect, innit? People jumping on.
What would you say is your favourite gig you've played so far?
Gotta be Win Factory, ain't it, lads?
I didn't like it, me.
Nah. Oh yeah, your monitor was gone, wasn't it?
Honestly, the soundy like he was shy for me, but the room. It was boss going because they had like the little thing spinning about and that.
Yeah, it was a heavy venue. Like,
I'd say that Shape and Forecast gig.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I did the Win Factory or the Shape and Forecast. Shape and Forecast was the first time I've ever heard anyone sing our tunes back to us. So that was quite a big thing. Yeah, it was crazy. There's like, I think Tom stopped singing at like the end and the crowd like carried on like singing the tune back to us, and it was heavy to watch, like, you know, when you just sat there taking it in. But I did it empty for me.
Yeah, and it was James's first gig and that.
Yeah, big moment for us, that one.
Yeah, I think that is when we started properly getting into it, weren't it?
Yeah, as opposed to just I'm in a band once a week, like.
There are a lot of bands, like even big bands like the DMAs and like the Snuts have played like the Ship and Forecast, and that. It seems like there's a lot quite.
Yeah, it's a heavy venue.
You know, they're close and that. Got a little stage, but it is good.
Yeah, proper intimate, innit?
Yeah, it's decent.
Is there anything like you change about the industry? Is there anything like does your head in about it?
We're not really in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing.
We're a tiny band and that. We're just trying to
make it easier for us. That's what I'd change.
I think if it was a big band, or I don't really like Spotify and have the premium and that, but I think if it was random Spotify, it's so hard because you get virtually nothing.
Yeah, that's right. You get like half a penny, don't you, per stream?
Yeah, it's
or something. Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah, that could be a big thing. Like.
But like us and we're putting tunes on Spotify. We're just trying to get our name out there a bit. But if you was a big band like DMAs or something, or Liam Gallagher and that, like for the amount that, like how famous Liam Gallagher is, he'll probably make nothing off that Spotify. It'll be through like physical copies, through vinyls and that. And imagine us trying to sell a vinyl. You go, fucking hell, what's that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'd have to sell about 10.
Yeah.
See what Emma be me mad and die.
Yeah.
How many tickets do you just normally sell for a gig? Like just for yourself?
I don't know how many is the most.
Depends on the venue. It's about on average between 150 and 300, I reckon, at the moment, innit?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, something like that.
I know we shifted about 250 for the Wind Factory.
Yeah, I think that was the best we'd ever done it, weren't it?
Yeah, but like it just varies massively. Like that Ship and Forecast is only like, is it 180 capacity or something like that?
Yeah, something like that, I think.
Something small, and that was sold out. Like, so I know it weren't us who sold all of them. Just a few of the supporters had shifted a few, but yeah, I don't know. On average, it's about between 200, 300, something like that, I'd say.
Do you make much, like, I'm not going to ask you on your numbers or anything, but like, do you make much like money, or do you just like break even, or?
It depends, doesn't it, really? Because if the gig's put on by a promoter, like it depends on the promoter's deal.
You get about £2 a ticket or something.
I know with the Wind Factory, this feeling were buzzing with us because all the bands together had sold out, like the venue, and it was only ever meant to be up to the curtain, which like splits the room in half. So it was only ever meant to be like 600 or 650 capacity. And then we went up to sell like 1250, 1300 tickets, I think it was, and sold like the whole room out. So they ended up buying us all. Was it a bottle of Prosecco, lad? Or champagne or something?
Yeah, I think it was champagne.
They bought all the bands a bottle of champagne and like put our shared amount per ticket up by like a few quid that night. So it just depends on the deal you've got with the promoter. Like, I know if you do it yourself, you make a lot more, but I don't think we know.
Yeah, their own thing. I think
we don't know enough about it, do we?
Keep cheap nights or something.
Yeah,
and then they obviously buy like a venue out for the night. So they buy like the O2 or something, pay for the sounding, and then they take all the money. So that'll be a decent way of getting to, but you'd have to rely on ticket sales then, because if you bought it out, it's like you're staying about 4.
Yeah, you're gonna lose though, aren't you? If you don't
sell about 50 tickets, there's no point doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The way we do it, it doesn't cost us anything to put a gig on. So any money we make off tickets is like a bonus. But, yeah, don't do it for the money though. Trying to just get our name out there, aren't we?
Yeah, that's what it's about now.
Yeah, money comes later.
Yeah.
That's what I keep telling myself anyway.
Do you just like jump at any gig, or are you like quite selective with who you support and that?
No, yeah, we've got to be proper selective. We've been offered like loads of gigs and that we've had to like turn down because it's not going to look good, or it makes it seem like the band's going backwards type thing. What you've always got to do is like look onto like where'd you go from here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you take one support with like a big band, and then next thing is you go back and you're like supporting some other band who hasn't got as many streams or followers or whatever, then it just looks like you're going backwards. Or if you go and do like a headline and then you go and do a support for like a band of similar level to you, it just makes you seem, like you're not in that position. So yeah, but it's definitely
that, yeah. If you like, but as you were saying, then so I'm saying if you like a band, but the new, they're starting out, and
yeah,
the graph go, nah, listen, you don't have enough followers. It's a bit fucking shite.
Yeah, it is. Like
you have got to think about it.
Yeah, but we just kind of put all the gigs forward to the manager now, and he, and just say yay or nay type thing, and get his opinion on it, and then make a decision. But obviously, at the moment, it's all a bit dry. So we've got some plans in for like the next year, and I know Griff's been busy like booking gigs outside of Liverpool and stuff for us.
Have you not played outside of Liverpool yet?
Nah, not once. So next year will be the first, but yeah, he's just started booking gigs for us anyway. So yeah, I think it's more relies on his shoulders more than ours from this moment on. Like,
yeah.
So what would you say the most bizarre thing you've seen at a gig is?
Cup of piss being thrown everyone. I reckon.
That's just standard though, isn't it?
It's not bizarre, like it's bizarre people's reasoning behind it, like, but I know it happens quite a lot.
Tell you what was bizarre for me. I went to see Liam Gallagher in the Echo. I don't know when it was, this year, last year or
November, wasn't it?
Yeah. And like next to us, me and our Alex, my brother, just stood there watching him. And there's these about 50-year-old fellas, about 5 of them, with the top offs, just scrapping with each other. You know what I mean? What are you doing? They're trying to like relive like the kids again watching Oasis, and you just like, like throwing pints at each other and that. I was just like, what?
Tell you what was bizarre for me. What we played the O2 Academy a while back now, and we headlined it under that I Love Live events. There was nowhere near sold out like it, and nowhere near. But it was a fairly decent crowd there, and some kid had brought a flare in, and it wasn't like the big O2 like main room. It was the O2 Academy too. So like, the ceiling's like dead low. I mean, if you stand on your tiptoes, you can bloody headbutt the ceiling. Do you know what I mean? So set off this flare, and I remember my bird was in the crowd. She come out later. She just bought a new pair of Vans. They come out blue. That was certainly weird. Like big flare off. And all the kids got sent out the back, and all the bouncers like cleared the room. They were going like, "Stop playing!" I remember we were playing My Generation, weren't we? We were still doing a cover, yeah. And they were like, they turned off all the speakers, but they weren't allowed to touch like our own gear, like. So we just carried on playing. So everyone was getting like ushered out. Oh, it was awful.
Yeah,
it was really bad. That funny though.
Well, I'd just say it would be like your dream gig as such.
Dream gig, eh?
You have got to say it, haven't you? You've got to say Pyramid stage, haven't you? But
yeah, it's got to be Glasgow, hasn't it? Pyramid.
Yeah, you've smashed it when you're playing that, like.
Yeah.
But
either that or I don't know, maybe supporting like Arctic Monkeys or something. And like a big hometown gig. Or the DMAs.
Yeah,
I
that'd
don't
be
know,
good.
something like that. That would be a big dream for me, like supporting either of them two.
Yeah.
But even like having your own show at Nebworth or something like that. There's too many to choose from, isn't there?
Yeah,
Either of them, I'd be happy with me. Settle for
no,
them.
you'd be happy with it.
Be over the moon, lads. Yeah.
Before we wrap it up, you got anything else to ask me from?
Well, we always ask, don't you? What's your favourite pint?
Oh, favourite
Gotta be a Guinness, me.
Yeah. I don't know.
I reckon.
Yeah, you can have a Guinness. You'd have to feel Guinness though, you're on it. You'd have to be in the
Yeah.
mood. I'd go,
Nah, but you can have a Guinness and you don't need a scran, do you? It's just heavy. Like, starter, main course and dessert, lads, in one glass.
Roast dinner in a glass, innit? I'd probably go Moretti, mate.
Yeah.
I don't think you can knock it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Either a Guinness or a proper cold pint of San Miguel. Either of them two for me.
No one's ever said Guinness before when you've asked them that, you know. Not gonna lie. Proper guitar.
Beef, what's yours, lad? I've seen you in the meadows.
What's mine, lads?
Depot's
Spencer School and Everton's gone on, man. Go be a pint of Stella, lads. Be a pint of Stella.
Yeah.
Nah,
when you're going home and that, be a bird.
Pints of wife beater.
Yeah.
So, nice one for that, boys. We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, nice one, lads.
Yeah, no worries. It's been a pleasure.
Are you gonna be?
Right, lad.
See you after.
Back to the 10 Pint Podcast. Today we're here with Beefham as normal, and we have a very special guest. We have the KAIROS band on.
All right, boys.
Hello.
Yeah, so we're gonna start
Hi,
off
lads.
as we normally do. So where did it all start? Where did you start getting into music and that?
Who's taking this one, lads?
Yeah, you take it, lad. You're an original, aren't you? So,
Yeah, I'm what's called an OG. Nah. So me and Sam, the singer, we met in this like Lipper summer school thing back in like I don't know. I think we were in like year 10 or something like that. And it was like trying to get a grip of where you were gonna go for like sixth form and that. And met him there. I ended up saying one of my favourite bands was Kasabian. I think he said Oasis. And then we kind of just got on from there and like formed this band. And then we had like two other members in for a while. And then we met up with Owen through like the footy. And we got him in. And then Chambers, who was like Tom's best mate through like sixth form and that, he ended up coming in later on and being the lead guitarist. So yeah, it was kind of just like a bit of a weird turn of events, like, but yeah, it was sound
What
like.
age was that at, like? 14.